Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tija. Every week, I drop videos here on how to analyze your data using Microsoft Excel, Power BI, or SQL. In today's short video, I'm going to walk you guys through on how to create a data model in Microsoft Excel. Yes, I'm going to walk you guys through on how to model your data in Microsoft Excel. So we have a airline data set here for our practice. So this is an Excel workbook that contains 4 different sheets. So the first sheet we have is a flight table that contains all the information about the flight. The next is a route table that contains all information about the route. The next sheet is an aircraft table that contains all the information about the aircraft ID, the aircraft type, the capacity, how much does it cost to fly the aircraft. And the next table you have the airport, which location is the flight going to, the airport ID, the airport name, which gate are the passengers going to pass. You have all that here. So for you to analyze this data, you need to create a data modeling and then you create a relationship. So you can't start analyzing it this way because all these are not in the same table. They are not on a one table. So we have different tables and they are also are not in the same worksheet. So for you to do this, you need to create a data modeling in your Excel workbook. So that will give you the ability to analyze your data. So the first thing we have to do now, you have to ensure you have this Power Pivot tab. So if you don't have this Power Pivot tab, the first thing you have to do, you have to come to the File tab, you click on More, you click on Options, you click on Add-ins. Next, you see where you have the Manage Add-ins, you click on Excel Add-ins. Next, you click on Comms Add-ins, hit on Go. So this pop will pop up. So you pick what you want to add in. So you want to add in the Power Pivot tab. You click Power Pivot tab, you click on Add and click on OK. So once you do that, the Power Pivot tab will pop up here. So you click on it, you have it here, right? So since we have that, we are going to load these 4 different worksheets to our data modeling, one after the other. So for us to do that, you need to come to the Power Pivot tab, click on it. Sorry, first of all, you need to turn it into a table. So if your data is not in a table format, you need to turn it into a table by pressing Ctrl T, and turn it into a table. So mine is in a table format. You can see here in a table format. So you need to click on Ctrl T and turn it into a table. So if you don't turn it into a table, you won't be able to create a relationship and you won't be able to model your data. So first of all, you need to turn it into a table for you to be able to do that. So since mine is already in a table format, I'm going to load it to our data modeling. So we click on the Power Pivot tab. We want to do that. You have so many options here. We have the manage, we have the measures, we have the KPIs, add to model, the text settings, and so on. So we want to add to model. So we click add to model. So wait for it to add to model. So Excel have added that to model for us. So we go back to our Excel workbook. You click on click on route. You click anywhere within the table, not outside the table, anywhere within the table. Click on add to model and wait for it to load. You have that added to model, route pivot. So we go back again. You click on aircraft. Same procedure, add to model. And lastly, the airport table, add to model. All right, so since we have that, so since we have our worksheet added to our data model, the first thing is the first thing we are going to do is we are going to go through our data. We need to go through our data to check if we are in the correct data type. If they are in the correct data type, if they are not in the correct data type, we are going to change it to the correct data type, because if you don't change it to the correct data type, it's going to affect your analysis. I cannot give you accurate analysis, and you know what that means. So let's first of all check this column, the date. So you come to the Home tab, you check the formatting. Data type is whole number. So we have it there is whole number. So this column is correct. The next column is the airport name. Airport name is in text. So this column is correct. The next column under the airport pivot is airport ID. So we check the airport ID. Data type is text. This is absolutely correct. So we move to the next sheet. So this is an aircraft pivot. So same procedure, click on it. So the data type is decimal, so decimal. The format is general, so leave it. The seat capacity is whole number. The format is general. So you move to the next. Data type is text, format is text, correct. Aircraft ID, whole number, general, absolutely correct. So we move to the next. Price list. So this is whole number, general. So leave it this way so you can convert it when you are creating, when you're analyzing your data. So you want to change it to, if you want to change it to currency symbol or currency to affect your calculation, when you're doing your calculation to affect it, right? So you keep it the way it is. So distance is absolutely correct. So you can also change this. So you can also change this when you're working on, if you want to calculate the distance, you can also change that. Airport ID is absolutely correct. Text, text. Departure airport, text is correct. Route ID, this is correct. So we move to the last one, which is the flight pivot. So this flight here, this table, we don't need it because when we are creating our calendar table, the calendar table is going to automatically generate this column and this column. So we don't need it because this is a reductant column. We don't need this column, right? We don't need it. So you click on it, you right click. Or I think I like we could delete this column away from here. Could delete this column. We don't need this. Okay, so let's go back to our source workbook and delete it, then refresh. So we come back here. So you click delete, 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 and delete. So we go back to our workbook, click on manage. So let's quickly refresh. So hit on refresh. So success, hit on close. So you can see we don't have the column there again. So total fair price, decimal general. Like I said earlier, keep it this way. If you change it, if you change it to, let's say, currency, if you change it to currency, you're going to have something like this. So when you're trying to sum up or want to find out the total price or the total revenue, you won't be able to do that because Excel will detect this as a text because of this currency symbol we have here. So this will prevent you from doing any calculation you want to do. So that's the reason I said you should keep it as whole number. Keep it as whole number. Average price ticket, decimal whole number. You can keep it this way. So now schedule departure. So the schedule departure wasn't in a date format. So let's quickly confirm that. So we have a schedule departure is in time. Is a time data type. It's only in time. Doesn't have date. So for us to change it to date, so we go back to our manage. So you come to the data type is on date. So what format do we want it to be? Want it to be only time format. So you pick any time of your choice. Is it the one that have with seconds? Is it 24 hours time or 12 hours time? So let's pick any one. So let's go with this 24 hours time. Click on that. So we've changed our data type for the schedule departure. For the aircraft ID, we have it the whole number general. For the departure delay, so this one is in seconds. You can keep it this way. So the route ID is in text. So the date, so let's quickly expand this. So it's in date. So you want only date only. So you don't want date and time. You want only date. So since we have the time here already, so you want only date. So you click on the format, the drop down. So we pick on the date. We pick on this, or you pick on this. So anyone you want to pick with. So let's go with this. So we have that. We have that there. So before we create our relationship, the next thing you have to do, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to create a calendar table. So this calendar table is going to allow us to do what we've known as time series analysis. So time series analysis allows you to know how much the company made last year and how much the company made this year. So you are going to compare last year and this year to know if the company are making profit or not. So for you to do that, you need to have a calendar table so you can create your time series analysis. If you don't have a calendar table, you can't create time series analysis. So let's quickly create our calendar table. You come to the design tab, click on the design tab, you click on date table, click on it. So you click on new. So you want to generate a new date table, right? You want to generate a new date table. So you click on new. So Excel has generated a new date table for us. So Excel has done that for us. So let's expand this. So we have that already. So we have that already. So you can see the date is showing us 1899, 1899. So we don't have 1899 in our date. So let's go back to there and check the date we have there. We have 2014, right? So let's check. You have 2014 and 2015. So how can we fix that? So let's go back there. You click on it. So you go to date table settings. All right, sorry, not here. So you come to advanced. So come to the home tab. All right, so you come to the design tab. You come to the design tab. So you click on the date column. So you click on this drop down date table. Click on it. So you want to update our date range. You want to update our range, right? You want to update our range. So you click on update. So our start date is 2014 is our start date. So we say January 2014. Okay, January 2014. So let's type that here. 2014. So we have that. So we have the start date as 1st of January 2014 and the end date 31st December 2015. So you click on OK. So our date are automatically changed. So you want this to only be in date. So you don't want the time. So we go back to our, so we change this to only date, only date. We change that to only date, right? So if you don't want this in this format, can as well change it to only 3 by reducing this to 3. We don't want it to 3. I need to enter. So the same thing with the month, reduce it to 3. I hit on enter. All right, since we have our calendar table already created for us, the next thing we are going to do, we are going to go and create our relationship, right? For you to create a relationship, you need to come to the home tab, you come to the view, you click on diagram, right? Diagram view. So you click on the diagram view. So we have the flight pivot, the route pivot, the aircraft pivot, and the airport pivot. So left with our calendar. So where did our calendar pivot goes to? All right, we have it here. So we bring it down here. So let's expand this. Let's expand. So we have different tables. We have different tables. All right, so we can keep that way. So let's quickly arrange it. So flights. So we are going to bring the flights table, the flights pivot this way. We keep the route this way, the aircraft this way. Okay, let's take this up. Let's bring this down here. So let's adjust this. And let's bring this down. All right. All right. So since we have that already arranged, So since we have that already arranged, we are going to create what we call a relationship between these tables, right? We are going to create a relationship using the primary key and the foreign key. So now we have here, so this is our primary key, this is our primary key, this is our primary key, right? So we want to create a relationship between the flight table and the route table. So we check here, if we check the flight table, we have some keys or we have some columns where we are going to use it to link to the route table, right? So first of all, we need to check, do we have any matching column? We have the route ID, you have the route ID here. You have the department, the departure, the airport. You don't have departure airport here. We have the airport ID. We don't have airport ID here. We have the distance. We don't have the distance here. We have the price list. We have the price list here. All right. So now, so this is our primary key. The route ID is our primary key, and the route ID here is our foreign keys. So you are going to create a relationship between the two. We are going to drag from our flight table to here. So we've created our relationship. So this is one-to-many relationship we've created. So we go back again, we check aircraft ID. We have aircraft ID here. So we have aircraft ID. Aircraft type, we don't have aircraft type here. Seat capacity, we don't have seat capacity here. Fuel cost, we don't have fuel cost here. So we have the aircraft ID. So we have aircraft ID here. So the same procedure we did here. So we drag from here to here. So the same one-to-many relationship. All right, so we go to the next one. Airport ID. Do you have airport ID here? No, we don't have airport ID. So we have airport ID here. Airport name. You don't have airport name here. You don't have airport name. Gate number. We don't have gate number here. So before we come back here, so let's quickly check this. So we have the date. We are going to drag the date to this date here. So we drag this date to this date. So we have the one-to-many, one-to-many, one-to-many relationship. So we are left with this. So what are we going to do here? So we go back again, airport ID. There's no airport ID here. You have the route, you have the flight, you have the route, you have the aircraft, airport name. There's no airport name here. What are we going to do? That means we need to bring this route table to this way. So you can create a relationship between the airport ID and the airport ID. So let's quickly swap. So let's quickly swap. So we've done the swapping. So let's create a relationship between the route pivot and the airport pivot using the airport key. So this is our primary key. We're going to drag it from there to here. No, to here. Sorry, to here. Right? Going to drag it to there. So we've done creating our relationship. So you can as well drag from here to here. So let's delete this. So you know what I want. So let's delete this. So let's drag from here. Alternatively, let's drag from the airport ID to here. So we have that there. We can as well drag from here to here or from here to here. All right. So we have our data model. We have done with our data model and done creating our relationship. So the next thing we have to do, we have to close and load, right? The next thing we have to do, we have to close and load. So how can you close and load? You come to the Power Pivot, you say pivot table. So click on pivot table, click on pivot table. You say new worksheet, click on new worksheet. So we have that there. So we can give it a name. So let's give it back end. Let's give it back end. It's a pivot table analyze. You click on it. View lists. So we have it here. We have your tables. So you can carry your calculations. We have your tables. You can quickly carry out your calculations. We have your tables here. So that will be the end of it for today's video. Thank you for staying to the end of this video. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly click on the subscribe button, drop a comment, hit on like, and share the link with your network. Is there any video you want to see me do? Kindly drop the comments. Kindly drop the any video you want me to anything you want me to help you do. Any video you want to help me. Any video you want to see me do, kindly drop it in the comment section. Thank you. See you in the next video.